So Blizzard just announced what they're planning on doing for the next ret patch, and holy shit, I'm excited. From what it sounds like, they're making almost every change that I've been asking for since like BFA. But let's get into it. So first off, apparently they think that ret has button bloat. I'm not really sure what they mean by this paragraph because I feel like ret actually doesn't have too many buttons compared to a lot of other classes, and there aren't that many useless ones, or maybe I'm just not thinking of them because they're not my parts. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one, but the next one is one I'm really excited about. I'm just going to read the whole thing. There are currently several talents and abilities that provide stacking bonuses which can make for a confusing and messy playstyle that deals extreme burst damage, but in return leaves your core abilities feeling unsatisfying and undertuned. We intend to significantly change this. We want your core abilities to feel good and powerful when used in all situations. This doesn't mean we're reducing all elements of burst damage, but we do want to make burst more purposeful and deliberate, while also allowing options that provide sustained damage. So pretty much it seems like they're getting rid of the big modifier stacking that we have right now. So, you know, you got the wings, plus the Seraphim, plus the final wreck, plus a couple other things that can happen that are RNG. Hopefully that means that they're somewhat getting rid of this. I hope this maybe means that they're also getting rid of like Seraphim, because I really don't like Seraphim. It just does way too much, and when you're not running in, don't have procs for it, you just feel so much worse. So I'm hoping they're addressing something like that, but I think this is really good change. This might mean that we have a lot more impact outside of our cooldowns now, since it says they are kind of buffing our individual abilities damage, which I think they've actually been kind of doing lately. Like Crusader Strike does damage, Blade of Justice does damage, Judgment is like our #1 damage half the time. Templars is still a bit weak, and so is Divine Storm, but for the most part, I think they're getting close to where ret should be. I think if they buff those abilities just like a little bit more, or maybe just a bit more, so that we actually have good pressure outside of our cooldowns, and also nerf the top end cooldowns a bit more like they have been doing recently, I think that ret's going to be in a really good place. Next one is something that I didn't actually expect them to talk about, is ret survivability. Ret survivability has been terrible since forever, honestly, since like WoD. It's always been, you know, if there's a pink, go pink. But let's read this real quick. Survivability. Retribution Paladins currently have one of the highest death rates across all forms of content. I did not know that. That's funny. For a plate-wearing class with hybrid healing, this doesn't feel right. We're looking to strengthen them through a mixture of passive bonus and improvements to active abilities and cooldowns, while keeping the degree of challenge that results from being a melee-based spec. So this seems really cool, especially that they're saying that they're buffing the passive tankiness of the spec, and then are also planning on buffing some of the cooldowns. I wonder what that means though, because I just don't even know how they really go about doing it. One way is they probably buff Devotion Aura a bit, make it so it's actually a real defensive. Another is, I don't even know. They're probably going to buff healing a bit. I just don't even know how they're going to really go about doing this, but I'm really excited that they actually are. And next one is maneuverability. You know, everyone's been bitching that ret needs more mobility. What they say is, we recognize that there is an issue here and hope to make some improvements. However, we want to set clear expectations. Retribution Paladin should not expect to gain the mobility of Rogue, which is completely fine. We just need something a little bit more than we have right now. Against a lot of caster comps, it just feels like we can never connect, especially into like Warlocks and Mages with their ports and gates and everything. If we have a way that we can actually stick on them a little bit better, that's all we really need. Force Freedom just really isn't doing it. Having mobility pretty much once every 20 to 40 seconds is not really viable in the current meta. Hopefully this helps. And then next, the utility one I didn't really get, because it says that you got to choose between a bunch of team benefits and self benefits. I don't really see that right now. There aren't really, at least from a PvP perspective, there aren't really like too many team buffs that you have, except for like sack, and that's kind of it. I guess maybe in PvE some of your auras are a bit more important for the team. They kind of have more of a wider effect. You know, you might be forced into Devotion Aura when you'd rather have the one that gives you wings procs and things like that. So maybe this just means that they're making some changes to ret seals. I think there's a good chance that they're making a big change to ret seal or auras, I guess they're now. I hope this doesn't like mess with ret's good utility that they have right now. You know, I think sack is in a really good place. I really love having 1 minute sack. I do think bop is really lacking. It's just such a long cooldown that you're pretty much never going to get a second use of it. But yeah, overall, I am really excited for these changes. I think that this could be really, really huge for Ret Paladin. And, you know, kind of makes you wonder why they didn't just do this initially, because everyone's been asking for stuff like this for the longest of times, but they kind of just decided to give us a little copy-paste of Shadowlands Rep Paladin. It's coming out this season. It said, I read their patch overview, it's coming out before the next season in spring, so there's a potential that Rec could be absolutely disgusting for end of season rank 1 push, which could be super fun for me. And this is just, yeah, this is a lot of cool stuff that's gonna be happening for Ret. I hope that they don't fuck it up. That is all I can say. But yeah, that's about it for me. Peace.